Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is WireDogSec back with another video for you guys. Today's video we are in TryHackMe. This is Advent of Cyber 2025, Day 15. Web Attack Forensics Drone Alone. Explore web attack forensics using Splunk. So first things first, we're going to scroll down to task number 1, and this is what we need today. We need the attack box and also the VM. So scroll down a little bit further and start up both those machines as we read along here. TBFC's drone scheduler web UI is getting strange. Long HTTP requests containing base64 chunks. Splunk raises an alert. Apache spawned an unusual process. On some endpoints, these requests cause the web server to execute shell code, which is obfuscated and hidden within the base64 payloads. For this room, your job as the blue teamer is to triage the incident, identify compromised hosts, extract and encode the payloads, and determine the scope. You'll use Splunk to pivot between web Apache logs and host-level Sysmon telemetry. Follow the investigation steps below. Each corresponds to a Splunk query and investigation goal. So learning objectives, detect and analyze malicious web activity through Apache access and error logs, investigate OS level attacker actions using Sysmon data, identify and decode suspicious or obfuscated attack payloads, reconstruct the full attack chain using Splunk for blue team investigation. All right, so these are the instructions to start the machines. It's in show split screen or show split view right now. I have successfully started the attack box and the target machine. Now, before we proceed further, if you want to help support the channel, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know every time I upload to the channel. Without further delay, let's go ahead and dive into it. Task 2, Web Attack Forensics, logging into Splunk. After you have started the attack box in the target machine in the previous task, allow the system around 3 minutes to fully boot, then use Firefox in the attack box to access the Splunk dashboard at this URL using the creds below. So I've already logged into it. The Splunk login page should look similar to the screenshot below. After logging in successfully, you'll be taken to the search page as shown in the screenshot below. So we should see something like this. And that's exactly what we see over here. Make sure to adjust the Splunk time range to include the time of the events. Example, last 7 days or all time. If the default range is too narrow, you will see no results found. A blue teamer would explore various attack angles via Splunk. In this task, we will follow Elf Blue, who uses his Splunk magic to unravel the attack path, detect suspicious web commands. In the first step, let's search for HTTP requests that might show malicious activity. The query below searches web access logs for any HTTP request that includes signs of command execution attempts, such as command.exe, PowerShell, invoke expression. This query helps identify possible command injection attacks where the evil attacker tries to execute system commands through a vulnerable CGI script, hello.bat. So I'm just going to copy and paste this in there. So we're going to look at this index called Windows Apache Access, and then this is the criteria we're looking for as specified up here, right? And they are putting this into like a table format to make it nice and easy readable, as you can see here in the screenshot, right? Okay, so let's take a look here and let's see. Let's do. I don't think they gave us a time range for this, did they? I don't think so. They have theirs set to, it looks like October 1st to the 26th. So let's just, I guess, follow along with that. Let's just do the entire month October and see if there's anything in there. It's October 1st to the 30th. We're going to set mine to, or 31st, I guess. Apply, and then search. There we go. All right, so we have similar output there. At this step, we are primarily interested in base64 encoded strings, which may reveal various types of activities. Once you spot encoded PowerShell commands, decode them using base64decode.org or your favorite base64 decoder to understand what the attacker was trying to do. Based on the results we received, let's copy the encoded PowerShell string, which is this here, and paste it into that website, base64 decode. You can also use CyberChef. Okay, just use whatever tool that works for you. And so if you just go to CyberChef here, it should load up. let's see here. But let's just navigate to this website here while that's loading. Base64 decode here, and there's a bunch of stuff popping up. Okay, whatever. Cookies. All right, the code. And okay, well, let's see if they need to change anything. Um, Looking for server-side errors and command execution and Apache error logs. All right. Well, we tried to decode that, but there's nothing there, right? I mean, look at this. There's probably something, an extra step that's missing. Okay, on this base64decode.org, you can see the message here. It's just really hard to read. Okay, it's the same thing. This is now mine. Mwahaha. So just letting y'all know here. I think I prefer the CyberChef format. It's a lot easier to read than this format here, but use what works for you. But in CyberChef, let's try this here, and then we'll do from base64. There we go. This is now mine. Mwahaha. Okay, cool. All right. In this stage, we will focus on inspecting web server error logs, as this would help us uncover any malicious activity. We will use the following query, which is this here, internal server error, okay? So this query inspects the Apache error logs for signs of execution attempts or internal failures caused by malicious requests. As you can tell, we are searching for error messages with the particular terms command.exe and PowerShell. Please make sure you select view raw from the drop-down menu above the event display field. Okay, so let's hop over here again and flip over here. Okay, and let's get all this out of the way. Enter. All right. And said that, oops, I didn't want to click that by accident. Let's just go back here. So we need to click on, it said raw or something. Yeah, it says click view raw from the drop-down menu above. All right. So let's see here. I wish I had highlighted that somewhere. But let's check these questions real quick and see if we missed anything. No, nothing yet. Okay. So let's take a look here at this. And hey everybody, this is WireDogSec. Just a quick reminder to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Once you hit the notification bell, be sure to set to all notifications so you know every time I post to the channel, upload a video, all that good stuff. Let's continue to grow our glorious community here. We are in the cyber trenches. We're not just reporting on it. Be sure to check out my channel as well. I have tons of videos. You can see here over 300 videos ready for you to check out and learn something from. Be sure to review my posts. I'm frequently posting new things to my channel here, including jobs and everything related to that. Also, I have tons of playlists here that you can review, make it more convenient for you. Anyway, happy defending, happy hacking, enjoy the video. All right, so we have our new query here, and then we're going to, where it says view down here, we're going to go to view and then click on raw. So now we're good to go there. And let's see, if a request like CGI bin hello.bat, CMD equals PowerShell triggers a 500 internal server error, this means the attacker's input was processed by the server but failed during execution, a key sign of exploitation attempts. Checking these results helps confirm whether the attack reached the backend or remained blocked at the web layer. Trace suspicious process creation from Apache. Let's explore Sysmon for other malicious executable files that the web server might have spawned. We will do that using the following Splunk query. So once again, Windows index equals Windows Sysmon. The parent image equals HTTP d.exe. This query focuses on process relationships from Sysmon logs, specifically when the parent process is Apache HTTPD.exe. So select view and then table on the drop down menu above the event display field. So let's go ahead and run this and try that out. Okay. And then we have to change something here. View table. Okay. All right, there we go. Sweet. So we have something just like this here. Typically, Apache should only spawn worker threads, not system processes like cmd.exe or PowerShell.exe. If results show child processes such as parent image equals Apache bin httpd.exe image equals Windows sys32 command.exe, it indicates a successful command injection where Apache execute a system command. The finding above is one of the strongest indicators that the web attack penetrated the operating system. Okay, good to know there. And we can see that here, it looks like. All right. Confirm attacker enumeration activity. In this step, we aim to discover what specific programs we found from previous queries do. Let's use the following query. So they are, once again, querying that Windows Sysmon index, and then they're looking for command.exe and whoami for that recon activity. This query looks for command execution logs where cmd.exe ran the command whoami. Attacks often use the whoami command immediately after gaining code execution to determine which user count their malicious process is running as. Finding these events confirms the attacker's post-exploitation reconnaissance, showing that the injected command was executed on the host. So we should look something like this here, right? So we can see the whoami all in place there. And let's see if we get similar results here. And it looks like we do. There we go. Identify base64 encoded PowerShell payloads. In this final step, we will work to find all successfully encoded commands. To search for encoded strings, we can use the following Splunk query. And it seems interesting. This query detects PowerShell commands containing encoded command or base64 text, a common technique attackers use to hide their real commands. If your defenses are correctly configured, this query should return no results, meaning the encoded payload such as mohahaha message never ran. If results appear, you can decode the base64 command to inspect the attacker's true intent. So we hopefully get no results like that. But let's see what we got. All right, awesome. So no results. And question time, what is the reconnaissance executable file name? And then what executable did the attacker attempt to run through the command injection? Okay, so I guess we can go back to these steps again, but we already know that this is going to be whoami.exe. And then what executable did the attacker run to attempt to run the command injection? And if we scroll back up here, it's because it's the same thing in the same screenshots, right? So let's see here. So that looks like probably PowerShell. Oops, if I can spell correctly. There we go. So we are done. Quick and easy room there. Hopefully y'all have learned something here, and this is exactly how it looks in the real world. You need those important logs, okay? Not just the endpoint logs, but you need those web logs as well as we were looking through those Apache logs, okay? They were looking at, those error logs in there as well, because a lot of times these error logs or application logs will have the actual payload information in there, like it'll show let's say they try to do some insecure deserialization attack. Well, sometimes those payloads will be in now those error logs and whatnot. So make sure you have proper logging enabled in your environment, and you are collecting those logs into a SIM environment so you can easily search through it as we just did there. Okay, you did it. Web attack forensics drone alone complete. Okay, it looks like we're done, folks. And you want to help support the channel, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know every time I upload to the channel. And also, feel free to comment below if you enjoyed this room. What you enjoy most about this room? Are you enjoying Advent of Cyber 2025? Let the folks know in the comment section below. Anyway, I will see you in the next one. Have a nice day. See you later.